Hi, I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and welcome to A Cup of Joe with Joe. Here we talk with Mayor Joe Bruno of Berkeley Heights about what's happening in town, what impacts the residents, and really get some straight answers from the mayor. Tonight, the show is going to be something that's going to save the residents money. It's going to be some cost-saving methods that can really have an impact on the township's bottom line. Mayor, what is going on that's going to help people save some money?
Well, a couple of meetings ago, we announced to the public that we are looking to do start a study on secession from the county. And my partner, Councilman Woodruff, was the spearhead behind this. We've talked about it for a number of months, and it was about a week and a half ago that we decided to bring it to fruition.
That's right. That's our guest tonight. Thank you, Councilman Robert Woodruff,
for
coming down to A Cup of Joe with Joe. And this is your brainchild. This is your idea, correct?
Well, yes, it was myself and Council President Hall. We were sitting around one day, and I mentioned it, and he said he's been thinking about the same thing. So this was about 4 or 5 months ago. And this came about, basically, I'm ending my third year in the council, first year as mayor following Mayor Cohen being appointed to assist Chris Christie in his administration, and then 2 years as a councilman. And this has come about based upon the fact that for 3 years now, we have worked extremely hard on this town's budget. And together with individuals in town who come to meetings, et cetera, they get a real idea of how hard this has been. We're conforming with the governor's edicts with respect to the percentages and how we go about things. And actually this past year, we've got our own municipal budget under control. It was lower than the previous year. But that's not really the problem, okay? And as we looked at it, we said, how much more can we cut costs? We really can't. So you've got to look at the other side, and that is, where's the money going? 22 cents out of every one of our tax dollars goes to the County of Union. Wow. So when you look at 18 cents on every tax dollar goes to our own municipality. Ballpark, about 60 cents goes to school board. Now, granted, one can make an argument with respect to the school taxes and how high they are, et cetera, but ultimately it comes back to the town. We're educating our children, so it is to the benefit of us. And we looked at exactly, if we took ourselves and said, let's place ourselves in either one of two counties that are contiguous to us, Somerset or Morris. And in doing so, we ran the numbers and found that in the last 3 years, 09, 10, and 11, were we in either one of those other counties, we would have spent our town through county taxes millions of dollars less. Mm-hmm. So,
well, did you crunch it in like a percentage? Like you said, 22 cents on a dollar. Would it be like 18 cents on a dollar? Would it be comparable to 10 cents on a dollar? I mean, it's some sort of ratio. I know there'd be a savings, but do we have anything a little tighter?
Yes.
Off the top of your head?
Yes. If we were to place ourselves in a Somerset County in the same position, rateable with the average value of the tax,
the same.
All things being the same, we'd save about 29 to 30% in taxes. Okay. If we took it to Morris County, it would be closer to 50, just about 49% savings in taxes.
What was that?
49%.
Wow. So out of that 22 cents, we might get it down to 11 or 12.
Correct. 11.5.
11.5. That's a pretty.
11.5 was a number. We paid $14 million last year to Union County. It would have been a hair over $7.3 million to Morris County had we been in Morris County.
So Mayor, how's this going to happen? How's this going to happen? I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer. So you're the mayor. How's it going to happen?
Many people have said that, and for the first part of next few months, we need to do a study. We need to share the information with our residents. We encourage residents to come to as many meetings as they can because Mr. Woodruff will share almost on a once or twice a month basis something that they can decipher as far as what we're doing. And if they can't come to the meeting, of course, turn to GLTV to see what's going on. But we'll do a study. There's a lot of questions we need to ask. What do you do with the county roads? What do you do with the county parks? Rollins Hospital is here in our county. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But the basic premise of if we were in a different county, would we be saving the residents money? That's the no-brainer. It would happen. So we're going to take some time to study it, and the goal is to have it on a referendum by next November. And I think we're all in agreement that we need the people of our township to vote on that because it's a significant change. But change is needed, and change is good.
Now, Councilman, the committee that's investigating this is an ad hoc committee of citizens. This is the township committee. Who's researching this?
Well, what I like to see it, and how it's kind of transpired is very simple. Is the council is unanimous in our support of looking into this.
Excuse me? What was that?
Unanimous. The word would be unanimous.
Are we in Berkeley Heights?
We're in Berkeley Heights. That's correct. We're in Berkeley Heights.
No, I was having some fun. You guys are doing a great
Well-
job. And it's nice to see that, though. It's nice to see that
Well, you've
there's
got
a
some
focus.
historical context to say
Yes,
otherwise,
exactly.
I suppose. What I like to think we have as a committee, I'd like to think of our whole town as the committee, because we want to encourage people to come to that podium every week and tell us what they think, to ask questions, because ultimately it's their decision. Ultimately, they're going to go into the voting booth next November, and hopefully this referendum will be there. It's non-binding, and they will make their decision. Now, we, as the mayor has said, have a lot of areas that we want to get information out to them. The next meeting that we have scheduled, we are going to deal with our tax assessor and our municipal CFO, and we're going to look at particular documents that reflect the fact that our particular town pays per capita the second highest taxes in the county, over $1,000 a person. And that's not $1,000 per voter. That's $1,000 plus per citizen. Now, I think we're second to Summit. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor?
That's correct. Second to Summit.
Wow.
So these are the kinds of numbers that the people have to understand, because all they are is a number. So how do you get to that number? And we hope with the assistance of our tax assessor and our municipal CFO at the next meeting. So I, again, would encourage people to come out. Okay. We're going to make documents available to them, and we want full and complete disclosure to all of our citizens.
Excellent.
And I might add, we are the second highest in the county, but I know our TV station may reach folks. I know we have a lot of students in our school here that come from Mountainside. For the Mountainside people who may be listening, they're third. Okay. So Little Mountainside is third highest per capita.
Wow.
And that begs a lot of questions.
Well, we're going to take a short break, gentlemen. Mayor, before we break, council meetings are when?
Council meetings are first and third Tuesday of the month.
And come and bring your questions and come listen.
Bring your questions, come listen, ask questions. Your questions, if you have a question, we need to find the answer to it, and that'll help us in our search.
Great. We're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about how you can get involved and what is the next step after the referendum. Councilman Woodruff, Mayor Bruno, we'll be back with a Cup of Joe with Joe.
Thank you.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Welcome back to A Cup of Joe with Joe. And, I want to take a moment to thank the GL High School students that are filming tonight. We're filming at GL High School. So, guys, thank you very much. Production crew, Joe Voorhees and everybody else, we really appreciate it. Now, let's go back to what we were talking about. There's going to be a referendum, and then after the referendum, we have to move forward. But before we move forward, there are some steps that have to occur. Correct, Councilman? It isn't as simple as okay, we're going to sign off on it and succeed.
No, it's not. And I want to make it known that the council and the mayor are unanimous, again, unanimous, in their feelings that this is not about telling the County of Union how they should run their government. There are 9 elected officials. They are doing what they think is appropriate.
The freeholders.
They're freeholders, absolutely
Okay.
correct. There are 9 elected throughout the county.
How many freeholders from Berkeley Heights?
There are none from Berkeley Heights.
okay.
There are 9 freeholders, and they come from 6 towns. Those 6 towns control or basically represent about 51% of the population. So individuals from towns, 51% of the population, are making decisions for 100%. Now, I understand the politics of things. We're not here to change the
Freeholders aren't
politics.
appointed, are they?
No, they're
No.
elected.
They're elected. Okay,
They're elected, and we do not have wards or districts, so they're all at large.
got it.
And I think, I may be wrong, Mr. Mayor, but I think we've got 3 from Elizabeth, 2 from Union, perhaps. And
Yeah, some from Cranford,
Roselle.
It's a numbers game.
Borough.
It's a numbers game.
Yep.
It's a numbers game. But one of the things that has come back to us from individuals who are seeking information, we do not wish to change the way the county does their business. They've chosen to do their business a certain way. That's fine. What we need to do is determine whether the way they do business best fits the people of this town, and whether or not is there not a county contiguous in either direction where we are a better fit. And that's really what this is all about.
That makes a lot of sense. So, Mayor, we get the information out to the people vote on it next November, a year, that'd be 2013.
13.
Then what happens?
Well, then we take the petition to the state legislature. The county system of government in the state was enacted by the legislature, so it's the legislature and only the legislature that could award us to a different county. But even before that, we have to go to the other counties and say, would you like us? We're pretty confident that they would, because we are Berkeley Heights, and we're pretty much a self-sustained town. We have our own police, fire, we have our sewer plant. We don't ask a lot in services, and we do contribute. So I think we'd be an addition to any county, but that's my own feeling, and we'll make the formal petition to the freeholders of those counties and see what they think. The interesting thing that I find that in this last 2 weeks, I've been told by many people that this will never happen because the legislature will never let you out. And I'm saying, you know, my crystal ball stopped working a long time ago, so how do you know what the future holds? And I think the time is right for us to do this. You know, the 2% tax cap that every township is guided by is really a tough thing, tough nut. And as Councilman Woodward said, we're doing everything we can to remain at that 2%, and by law we have to. But it is really difficult, and if we can save the taxpayers money by doing this, then that's our obligation as elected officials of this town to make sure we're doing what's right for our people.
Sure, sure. Now, Councilman, the contact information, is there going to be a link, do we know, on the communications page about this? Or, I mean, as information becomes available, I know we're going to come to the meetings, but let's say I can't make the next meeting. You know, I mean, do we have an idea of how we're going to get more information out to the people?
Well, I know, for example, when I made this proposal a few weeks ago, I did not have a written script. I just spoke. There were some individuals that were not there and wanted to hear that. So what we did, or read it, so what we did was we had it typed up, and it is now on the town website.
Got it.
Now, what I like to see us do is every document that we rely upon, identify, rely upon, and use to show the circumstances under which we currently are governed, make them available to everyone, again, through that website.
Sure. Well, that's what we have it for.
You're absolutely correct, and I think it's a great opportunity for us, and the people, and everybody can make every meeting. And again, I would encourage individuals to reach out and contact City Hall, contact our business administrator, who is working very, very hard for us, Ms. Upchurch, who obviously deals directly with the mayor, and putting documents and so on together. And if there are inquiries that they want us to take up, please bring them forward.
Sounds good. So, Mayor, let's get down to your contact information. So how do people get in touch with you, not only about this, but really A Cup of Joe with Joe is about their concerns. So for our next edition of the show, they want to get something answered.
My contact information is on the website, but for those who don't know it, it's real simple. It's jbruno@bhtwp.com. And if they give me a question, please keep it concise, and I will answer it, or we'll at least forward it to this TV station for answering at the next Cup of Joe with Joe.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So we could save a bunch of money It's going to be organized initially by the people have to set it forward. Then it ends up in the legislative hands. It sounds interesting. It sounds like it's a good move for Berkeley Heights. I am concerned about that legislative twist a little bit. So we're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to find out how we're going to get it to the goal line, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio with Mayor Bruno and Councilman Woodruff, all about Morris versus Union County. What's best for Berkeley Heights?
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Welcome back to the show. It's a Cup of Joe with Joe. And it's been interesting. We found out that 22 cents out of every tax dollar goes to Union County. It comes out to about $14 million in change to Union County for services that are supposed to come back at least somewhat proportionally to us. But that really isn't the case, gentlemen, is it?
No, I think we found that that's not the case. And
what kind of services do we get from Union County so people understand?
Well, we get we have the park. They gave us. Let me rephrase. They didn't give us anything. They helped us build Snyder Avenue Park.
Very nice.
And it's a very outstanding park. And I know that it's been used extensively by the children in Berkeley Heights. And it was a cost of $6 to $8 million, which is about 1/2 of a one-year contribution. But we do get, we have a very good rapport with the county that, as long as we're there, I hope doesn't change. But we get assistance with our chipping program. We have an old chipper, so if the chipper breaks down, they're very good about lending us a chipper. We get a lot of our county roads. Roads are county roads, so they assist in snow removal.
Well, Springfield Avenue is county road?
Springfield Avenue
yeah,
is
so
county
that's
road.
always, so in the winter time, I know we're always getting it cleared by the Union County.
Mountain Avenue is a county road. I believe
Yeah.
Plainfield's a county road. So we get those services, and then there's a lot that we use their printing shop as a shared service. But that's what the county is supposed to be. The county should be the epitome, and for a large part is the epitome of shared service. What we contribute, we don't nearly get back what we contribute, but we understand our role in the county. But we think it's disproportionate.
Councilman, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the money goes into Union County, then Union County, I assume the freeholders, then take it all from all the different towns and redistribute it however they want?
that's pretty much it. It is a distribution circumstance. There's no doubt about that. And again, we're not naive. We understand the politics of things, all right? The 9 freeholders are all Democrats, duly elected, and so they're running the show. Now, it's not unreasonable to think that they're going to reward or award monies to their constituents, those who vote for them, perhaps more quickly than they do others. Again, that's the politics of things. We understand it. We understand it. We don't necessarily have to accept it or abide it, which is why we're taking the steps we take.
We respect their position, we respect their decisions, but we don't have to agree with them. We can agree to disagree.
I would hope so, yes.
I don't know if it's an accurate statistic, but I had read a statistic that Union County had just authorized recently about 550 lifetime contracts or something. Was that correct?
Well, what happened is they about a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer, about a year and a half ago, they awarded to non-union employees approximately 550 or more and their families lifetime benefits. Well, as I indicated that night 3 weeks ago, that kind of lack of stewardship is not something that would be acceptable in this town.
It's not acceptable, really, in today's economy.
Well, that is even a larger issue, I agree, because in the middle of what's going on in this country, both nationally and in this state, for a group to do that, okay, I think just basically ignores the realities of things and then perhaps supports really what we're doing more than anything else, because that's not the way we think.
Yeah.
Right?
So if it gets on the referendum, Mayor, and apparently it's in Union County's best interest to keep us part of Union County, it would be in, let's just pick a county, Morris County's best interest for us to go there, because then they get revenue sharing. for them to redistribute. So, you know, where was the pushback? Where are the stone walls? Where are the challenges going down the long road when it gets to the legislative, or do we have allies down the road?
We do have a number of allies who have already voiced encouragement, let's say, for what we're doing. But the stone walls will be the people who represent the same areas that that do not want us to go. So again, we do not want to make this really a political thing. It's not political as much as it's ideological. It's, you know, how in this time, in this day and age, how do we spend money wisely for the betterment of the citizens, and what is government supposed to be?
You know, I'm going to ask you a loaded question.
Okay.
I remember the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I don't know if you gentlemen are old enough to remember that movie. Why doesn't that happen? Why doesn't it happen? Why doesn't it get down to, hey, we were allowed $10,000, but we only need $8,000 to finish this job. Keep the other $2,000. Why, especially in today's age, why doesn't that happen?
Personally,
yes.
My idea, it's selfish and self-interest. All right. The government's become a beast, and the beast has to be fed. Now let's also call it on other levels. There are individuals who are elected officials. They've got money to disperse. Who do they disperse it to? They're going to disperse it to people that vote for them. They're going to disperse it perhaps to people that work for them, people that are are neighbors, relatives, so on and so forth. That's what goes on. And the sad part of it is we all go, well, okay, that's what goes on. But I think the people of Berkeley Heights are serving notice through this council and this mayor that we're just not going to accept the status quo anymore, and we're going to take our shot. And as I said to someone the other day when I was asked why, I said, well, if not us, then who? Yeah. And if not now, then when? Mm-hmm. Because the financial circumstances are dire, and steps have to be bold steps. And I think this is a bold step.
I think the biggest opportunity we have in government is to adopt a zero-based budgeting mentality, as we do in a business world. You start off with zero, you add in your fixed costs, and then you add in what you need to get the job done in a business for a single year, and that may vary from year to year. You don't need the same things every year. And in government, it's like, okay, you have $10 million, so next year it better be 10 million plus 2%. And you keep on adding that, because if you don't, you may not get it again. But I think that, you know, in Berkeley Heights, I know for the last few years, as Councilman was saying earlier, we have adopted a zero-based budgeting, and we start off there, add the fixed costs that we know we have, and then say, what can we afford this year? And, you know, our department heads get points for how much they don't use. And if you come to our budget meetings, you'll see department heads sharing. I don't need this year, so give it to this department, but next year I may need it. And that's the type of discussions that go on. So it's a new adventure into fiscal budgeting for governments to do that, but it's what's needed in this time.
Well, you know, it makes a lot of sense. The concept sounds like a no-brainer. We're going to wrap up the show, but, you know, Mayor, some closing comments from Mayor Joe Bruno on a Cup of Joe with Joe about the Morris Union situation.
As I said, I think this is as we said, a no-brainer for our township. This is something that we need to investigate. We owe it to the citizens of Berkeley Heights to do everything we can to study the issues, pro and con, and reach a decision, and then bring it to you, the voters. And you, the voters, you need to keep yourselves informed and ask the questions. If there's something on your mind, we need to know about it.
You know, it kind of makes a lot of sense. Councilman Woodruff, it's your baby.
Well, it's all of our baby, I'd like to think, and I think it's everyone in this town who have had issues with what's coming out of their pocketbook for a long time, and justifiably so. And this is our opportunity as a town to be heard. And I thank you for this venue, and I'd like to also thank the guys here tonight that are working hard.
Hey, shout out to GL.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
But this is the chance that we're going to have to make something happen and to be different, and that's what we're trying to do. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's all about standing up for what's right.
That's great.
You know, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and nothing wrong ever turns out right.
That's what we believe.
You know, and we can see that. So that's a lot of good information. Tax basis, 22 cents on the dollar, could get as low as maybe 11 cents on the dollar
Yep.
for the tax dollar. But it is in the hands of the residents. They need to come to the council meetings and get informed. They need to go to the website, get informed, contact the mayor, and get ready for the referendum. And let's see if they want to make it happen.
And remember, if you can't make it to a council meeting, TV 34 or TV 47.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, it's been another great show with A Cup of Joe with Joe. Mayor, thank you very
Doctor,
much.
thank
Our
you.
guest,
Doctor, thank you.
Councilman Woodruff, we appreciate it. Look forward to having
pleasure.
you back on another edition of A Cup of Joe with Joe. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate you watching the show. Have a good night.